All right, guys, welcome back to Black Legacy, Black Minds. I'm your co-host, Coach Emery Cannon. Got Dr. Mario Wallace, and today we're going to be talking about TikTok, the sale of TikTok. How does it affect you, and what are we going to do now? Oh man, TikTok has helped so many business owners, every nationality business owner, but especially like a black and Hispanic business owners, more than anything I ever see on there. And it could be because of my algorithm, what I'm looking at, right? So that's something that's probably going to change in this new world of TikTok that the administration has ordered that what TikTok has to sell.
Yeah, well, if you notice, this started under the Biden administration.
Okay, I
It
didn't know that.
no, yeah, it was under the Biden administration when the first time TikTok shut down. It was under the Biden administration for like a day or two, and it was through the negotiation of uh, uh, more politicians thinking that it's a threat to our security, given that uh, according to U.S. politicians that the company is owned by a company out of Singapore. But a lot of the American politicians are saying that it's the backing of uh, the company is through uh, uh, the Chinese administration or companies in China or something like that.
Okay, so I forgot the name of the company that owns it. What is it? It's what's the name of the
The
company?
name of the group is Byte Dance. It's called
That's
Byte
it.
Dance. Uh, uh, so it's a group of people, but the people are located in Singapore. Singapore is independent of China.
Right.
Uh, but and remember now, the owner of TikTok came. The is not the owner, but the CEO came of this Byte Dance investment group came to the U.S. and spoke before Congress, and he was drilled before Congress about it. Uh, um, is TikTok funded by China? That was the question that was repeated over and over again, and he kept saying TikTok is not funded by China. China, we are a small company in Singapore, but
Right.
for some reason, we never let that go. As uh, uh, politicians on Capitol Hill, they refuse to believe that, and so they decided that they started this negotiation of him selling um, TikTok. But here's the thing: there are 135 million U.S. users of
Right.
TikTok, but there are 1.6 billion worldwide users of TikTok. So
That was a follow up.
what we're saying is our percent of usage of TikTok, the Americans, is enough to make him as wealthy than his wildest dreams. And we are some of the biggest consumers of TikTok. With that being said, um, instead of him just taking his company and moving on and just get rid of uh, American users, we are pressuring him to sell his company to us, and that's where we are today. Under this new administration, it's really a hard sale. If our users, given that the data that is being collected from TikTok, it is housed on Singapore servers. What we're
Yeah.
saying is we don't know what they're doing with that data. And given
Right.
that it's data from American users, this administration said we should own that platform.
And so by owning the platform doesn't necessarily means that they get the data that that's already been accumulated through the platform. So what does this mean for like American users though? Like, because they can change now, they can change this platform to whatever, and there's no data to support how TikTok is being used at this point if it sells. And then the follow up to that is I saw and I read that the company gets to keep 20% of ownership of it, and then so it's an 80-20 sale.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
here
yeah.
they'll
I
still have
think,
some sort of ownership.
but I don't think nobody would just give away their whole company. But here's the thing, because it's one of the most profitable and most successful, and it has the highest number of users than any other platform, any other social media platform today. But right, so Ellison, the chairman of Oracle, is the one negotiating the deal. He and Oracle are the ones to purchase TikTok. So that's the 80% that they will own, and 20% of ByteDance, who will continue to own their portion of it. Now,
Gotcha.
as far as the algorithm and the this is what we have to understand. Like all of these data centers across the United States, when Oracle through Larry Ellison purchase, once the deal is finalized, the data that is housed, the data and the algorithm that is owned by ByteDance, they will continue to own that. That's their ownership. That's their patent. That's their trademark, and that's their copyright. So what happens? So the day that is transferred to Oracle, a new program or a new update will be sent out to us, all the users. And
Right.
when we download that new update, it's going to look like the regular TikTok app, but it's going to have a total different algorithm associated with it. And the data is going to be collected by a totally new server. So ByteDance server and ByteDance algorithm will still be owned by them. So all the data that we've put inside of TikTok for the past 5 or 6 years is still owned by ByteDance.
Yeah, that's a
It's not going to transfer to Oracle. But when you open up your app, when you download the new update, it's going to look the same. It's going to
right.
function the same. They're not about to go in and change the functionality and the features of the app according to the algorithm. But the things that you see coming to your through your feed is going to be more of a controlled environment. You're going to see a lot of information that is intentional by those who
Right.
own it, by the new owners of the platform.
And so, will that change over time based off of what you're looking at? Like your friends or your followers aren't going to change. So, like at some point, the algorithm should start to manifest towards what you look for, what you like, and then so on and so forth.
I think things that come through my feed will start looking different. I think we're going to start, because if you listen to some of the stuff from Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, he said that the new war is won through information.
It is.
So what is he saying? He said the biggest platform to purchase today is TikTok. So he said that some of the information that we will start to see on TikTok, uh, it's going to be pointed and intentional. So the things that I see now, things that happen in China, in Canada, in all these different countries, we won't necessarily see the same things that we've seen over the past 5 years. We're going to see information that has a message for us to fixate on as we use this actual platform.
Goes back to regular TV. Everything they want you to see, you'll see on. I remember watching the commercials on TV. Remember the old stickers, Yuck, with the "Don't do drugs" thing. It was called Yuck with the green face, and like they pushed that. They pushed that down our throats for so many years. Just
Mm-hmm.
everything gets pushed down our throats, and so like it's not really a free country anymore. Almost, it's kind of like it's whatever the algorithm we put in front of you is what works.
Yeah, yeah. So freedom of speech. Think about it. When Elon Musk first went live with Grok, um, there was a comment about Israel that came from that application. When people searched use Grok, it said some
Derogatory.
inflammatory things in
Yeah.
derogatory about Israel. Well, and it was based on all the information that people was that it was gathered information from. So the technology was just interpreting. Remember now, it doesn't have its own brain. It's programmed
Artificial.
through. It's artificial. So the intelligence and the cognition of a LLM, a large language model, is based on pre-trained data that's uploaded into these models and fine-tuned data. So it was giving you, based on the documents and information that was fed to it, it was interpreting what was fed to it. So what Elon did is went in and he cleaned out anything that was inflammatory toward Israel. Right.
Right.
So when it comes to um, what we're experiencing today in America, so today we it's feel like we've gone backwards into Jim Crow era when it comes to some of the conversation that's happening on social media
Right.
platforms. And remember now, when Elon took over X or Twitter, he said freedom of speech. So he allows people to say anything whatsoever. So you have a lot of different alt-right groups on there saying whatever they choose to say, and he doesn't censor it. Well, when it comes to TikTok, we're going to be in the same situation. Who the owner, Oracle, Larry Ellison, and his group of people, they're going to make sure that a lot of information is filtered out through their algorithm, and a
Yeah.
lot of information is fed into it by
That
their
they want you
algorithm.
to see. So
Yes,
they're doing
yes.
the retraining of TikTok, Oracle, which will change the algorithm. So yeah, we won't see any of the same stuff that we were seeing. But is that one of those deals where we can like retrain it
Well,
to our what we want
well,
to a
no, we
certain
can't.
degree?
We can't necessarily retrain it. We can put content out there that's consistent, that creates the followers around our content. But let me give you something. For instance, they're going to do retraining. They're going to do fine tuning of this actual technology. They're
Yep.
going to redesign this actual algorithm for this technology. Now, my page on TikTok is about history, right? And it's focused on African Americans. So that's any type of history, and even these type of our podcast, I, as long as the content, specific content that come from some of our YouTube shorts is related to blackness, I make sure I share it on my page as well, right?
Right.
Now, the algorithm may
They get
have
some good views on that, just so you know. Great views on that.
great views on it. The algorithm may be against the sharing of history.
Yeah.
So that means that when I get an average of 5 to 10,000 likes and views on mine, I get an average of 200 or 300 comments going forward under the new algorithm, right? If if the algorithm is shaped based on the way the administration look at Black history today, right, removing artifacts from our most prestigious museums, removing textbooks from school that talks about slavery, removing certain content. All of my content talks about slavery. It's about the era of slavery. I have content about underground railroad stations, and content about plantations, and content about ships that was identified in Africa Town, Alabama. So the new if the algorithm is aligned with this current administration, then the amount of likes and amount of views that my page receive currently
Will
is going
shrink.
to is going to shrink.
Yeah. But where can they look up your YouTube? I mean your TikTok.
Is
What
Dr. Mario Wallace on TikTok? Just Dr. Dot with Dr. Dot Mario, and I don't know why I need to remove some of these periods and dots on it, but it's Dr. Mario Wallace on TikTok.
they can just look up Mario Wallace under the search and it'll pull you up probably first because you have so many followers and so many likes. They say it'll probably pull you up first. But I've been to your page and kind of stalkerish click on each one of them, and all of them have great content on it. So, hey, people should really look at that page if they want to know about history, Black history, and some of the effects of, and still some of the artifacts that are still roaming around the United States because you go to different cities and
Yeah,
get that
yeah.
information. Back to our regular program. So
Okay.
this just wanted to put that out there because you have a very good TikTok. I love it. But so with this new data that they're collecting, this new training they're going to do, what is this going to do for content creators currently?
So let me say this. First of all, let's talk about the numbers. So there's 1.3 million content creators in the United States currently on TikTok.
Yeah,
And there are multiple ways to monetize content on TikTok, right? Uh, and that is, let me give you a list of like the creator rewards program, TikTok Plus ads, where you can actually pay for ads and share ads. You can do live gifts. If you go live, you get paid based on the amount of gifts you receive, virtual gifts. The creator marketplace, where you can upload your products and sell products,
that's the
and
TikTok shop.
the TikTok shop. Now,
Yeah,
I don't know. So suppose this new buyer of TikTok decides to shrink the amount of ways you can monetize your platform. See,
yeah.
these are questions that no one has given us answers to at this moment. So we're waiting in idle and don't know what to expect. A lot of people make their living off their TikTok account. So
Yeah,
this is where we're in the era of the digital age. We're in the era of information, and a lot of younger millennial and Gen Zers, they have business platforms on these, their business, their companies through these actual platforms. So what will happen if the new owners decide to minimize or eliminate some of the ways to
I was thinking
monetize
more of
products?
the. I was thinking more of the global feed. Um, how everybody can look like I see stuff in China, I see stuff in Australia, overseas, Europe. So I'm thinking more like the global feed. It might be minimized to just the United States.
Well, I think it's gonna include some of our allies like Canada, um, things over in London and Britain and France and
Germany,
Spain and Germany. I think they will be included because remember now, the owners have to make money. So they have they're they could they the wider they uh span their coverage, the more money they can make because
yeah.
people pay, pay for ads and things like that. But like a lot of the countries that China included, I mean, not to say China, say Singapore. So think about it. If we remove Singapore and China, that means that we're getting rid of almost 200 million people.
Right.
I mean, just think about that.
Yeah.
We're getting rid of almost 2 to 300 million people. So some of the craze dances that people did on TikTok, they were curated out of Singapore and out of China. So that's going to go away. And some of the content, parental guidance or guardians over some of the content that we once saw, a lot of so, what some of the politicians were saying when they were saying that we need to force a sale of TikTok was about the content that the children was receiving.
Mhm.
And they were saying that in China, the kids in China get educational material, but the children in America gets entertainment material off TikTok. So they spend their time looking at fun things instead of education.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, well that makes sense. But the cross border campaign is what's probably going to be more controlled for the
Yes,
United States at least, because that
yes.
20% still will be able to circulate the 20% ownership. So it could just be like where they just cut off what the United States sees versus every their other users.
There may be a firewall built in that allows the 20% ownership, but we don't really we really don't know what the 20% ownership is. Maybe they're just quiet investors at this point and they have no control anymore, right?
Yeah.
But if they have control, then and they want this product to continue to exist in the Asian market, then they may put some type of firewall that's controlled through Oracle, or like Netanyahu said earlier today, they need to talk to Elon Musk. So if we put some of our best computer engineers on the task, they're going to ensure that there is a protected or protective firewall that prevents information from crossing over that firewall.
Man, that's a lot of technology right there to do that. Um, I just, I always worry about what the how this is going to affect small business owners to a certain degree, especially the black ones and minorities. Basically, how is that going to affect them if they're running? Like a lot of people just run their entire business off of TikTok.
Well, it's okay. Let me give you an example. There is a guy who sells sneakers on Instagram.
Mm.
He said that he has like 800,000 followers. So he said when he used to uh, market his new designs, his fall collection or whatever, he would get that same day about 20,000 people making orders on his website. They would
Wow.
see it. They would see it. His promotions, his marketing on Instagram, and before nightfall, he'll get all these people that who has went to his website and pre-ordered his products. Right. Well, he said today, he said Instagram, based on the changes in Instagram algorithm, he said he still has 800,000 followers, but he said when he market his product, he said only a small percent of people see his product now out of all of his followers. So he said he's barely driving sales from Instagram to his website. So
Right.
this is what's going to happen with TikTok. The people who make their money, the small business owners who make their money off TikTok shop, and so forth, the amount of people and the amount of people that follow them may not necessarily see their product anymore.
So
So when they mention,
does that mean you have to post more? You know what I'm
no,
saying?
no, it's you have to learn
The algorithm.
the new algorithm, and it takes
Yeah.
time. So you have to try to train the algorithm to support what you're doing, but it takes time to do it, and that's the challenge. So if I'm making 6,000 a month right now, currently on TikTok,
Right.
and
That was great.
I have affiliate people are helping me sell my products. So I'm giving them 8% because they're in an affiliate program, right? And the new algorithm is updated, and Oracle takes over. There could possibly be a drastic shift where I go from 6,000 to 100, from 6,000 to 1,000 in less than the first month that the new algorithm is put in place.
And
That
so
is,
then you got to figure that out. It
and that
almost be better to kill that account and then start a new one and see if the algorithm, but you lose all those.
you lose all the follows. You have to, as a small business owner, you can't afford. You have to you 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 have to be strategic, man. Maybe you need to inbox your followers. It's a lot of things that you may have to do to hack the algorithm in your favor, because
Let's
you're
look at
going to
that
get
solution. That's a
you're going to
solution.
well, you may have to hack it, because you're going to get a, it's like change management. Things, when things change, you get a dip, and in that dip you have to figure out what strategies to pull the people from the dip, right? And once it's in the dip, from a change perspective, if you're looking at like a continuum, a line that's a continuum like this and it goes down, you have to figure out what the strategies are to get it back up, right? Because at that point, once it's in a dip, you're losing money. And I think that's going to happen when the algorithm is implemented.
So what's a few solutions that we can come up with? I like that one. But if you got 9,000 people, how long would it take? Or 20,000 people, how long would it take? Could you build a AI? Could you build an AI agent to do it for you?
You can, you can.
That way you got somebody continuously working on it.
Well, that is a great solution, but not too many people understand how to build AI agents. So yeah, you can build if you are somebody that has 50, 60,000 uh, followers and you're making 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 a month. I think you need to get with somebody to build you an AI agent to hack the actual algorithm. So the agent, you will give the agent your TikTok API, right? Meaning your
Right.
TikTok login. You will build that into the agent, and you will instruct the agent to continue. Maybe you may make a video, and you may ask people to comment on the video if you see my video, and you have the agent to keep circulating that video consistently and responding to the comments that people are making, and based on those comments, the agent needs to continue to respond to those comments. But here's another hack: like whenever you see other information, other people's uh, postings that has a lot of comments, when you click on the comment section, maybe you need to paste within those, paste your page information inside
Yeah.
of that comment so they can send people back to your page too.
Right. Yep. That's perfect hack too. Yeah, that's a great solution. Got to have some solutions if we're going to talk about it. So I wanted to make sure that we came up with something. Then you have to monitor. You know, hopefully when you did these sales on TikTok, you got an email address that you can zoom back to real quick.
Yeah, yeah. You got email address, website address, um, and if you have a company phone number. But the whole thing is you need to redirect people back to your page. The whole your hack, the entire hack, even from an AI agent, uh, everything is about redirecting people back to your page.
Yeah. So even a digital worm will work, you know, that can keep people seeing you after they done visited your page. Like I would do that before this algorithm starts to change so that they'll start seeing you more and more.
hmm 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 Yeah, I have up to close to 8,000 followers on TikTok, so I would know maybe a day or two after the new algorithm is implemented, the new owners take control of the platform. I will be in once I post something, if I don't get my average amount of views within the first hour and the second hour, then I would know that I have to pivot and figure out a way to hack the algorithm in order to continue to get the amount of views that I receive prior to the purchase.
And just TikTok's biggest competitor is YouTube right now, and vice versa. YouTube is really pushing the shorts. So if you could create a YouTube page that you can sync to the TikTok page, that way, every time you post, they'll at least see you on YouTube, especially if you're making money off of it. I think that would be a really anything to get people to get back to you somehow. Whether it's your web page, YouTube, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, here's the thing: the whole purpose of YouTube Shorts, the whole purpose of Facebook Reels and Instagram Reels were to compete against TikTok. When TikTok came in, they came like 50 Cent did to the record industry years ago.
To
Came
Rockefeller.
in like a storm. Like Jay Z said, he's coming, he's coming. He came in like a storm. TikTok came in as a storm, offering short videos. Remember, YouTube, the purpose of YouTube initially was to offer these long videos for educational or whatever you're doing, content, right?
Yeah,
TikTok came in with these short 60-second and 2 minute videos, and it basically took over the industry.
it did.
And what happened, it took people from Instagram, it took people from YouTube, and it took people from Facebook. So they implemented YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, and Instagram Reels to pull people back into their
Yeah.
page.
I get caught up on TikTok. I accidentally look at one and I'll be on there for 2 hours and didn't even see it coming, man. I hope I can still enjoy that for a couple of hours a day because I don't, I'm constantly working and moving and that's like my downtime. Just it's very entertaining to watch these TikTok videos,
Mhm.
and so I would hate to lose some of that
You
content.
know, So this is what I heard. Like when TikTok under the Biden administration, when it was first brought up, there was a music. I don't know exactly what he did, but he said something that made sense on TikTok. He said this affects musicians' creativity, right? He said when we can what do you call it? When we can produce music with other producers from other countries who we probably will have never met or seen before, right? These producers go live, man, and they work with each other. Somebody from China, somebody from England, from somebody from the United States. All of them be on the live together, and
Yeah,
they be putting together different tracks for music, right? And they're
yeah,
saying that if we control the reach of TikTok through the algorithm, if we eliminate certain countries who have unique sounds and unique culture, then it's going to minimize the amount of creativity that we can produce through the application. And that's what his fear was.
that's true. But then even with the music now, with AI getting multi-million-dollar deals, artists, uh, which I read today was another. I've seen two multi-million-dollar deals on AI and artists. Almost, it's getting scary for these artists as well.
Yeah, well, and that's like Timberland. Timberland, who used to be with Missy Elliott. He was with also Swiss Beats. With what was that show that they did during COVID?
Oh, the
Um,
verses.
Versus. Well, he has a page, and you can see him live every day working with his AI agents,
Really?
his musicians. So he produced beats live on TikTok, and he create type him and whoever's working with him as producers to write the songs, and they plug the songs in to the AI musician, and as the AI musician begin to sing, they merge the track with the physician vocals, and then they share it online. So
Really? I got to watch that. I
yeah,
bet that's very interesting to
yeah,
watch.
look for Timberland on there. But it's dangerous because most of the um, Guru, one of Jay Z's producers, he said it's dangerous. Timberland took the industry down a dangerous slope, and he
Hmm.
said it's so dangerous and it's so slippery that people may not be able to recover. So right now, you have a lot of people complaining about these AI musicians.
Artists. Yeah.
I mean, these artists, man, they. I think one company got a deal for $30 million
Yeah.
to produce about 5 different albums with 5 different AI artists. That's dangerous, man.
I need to hear the music first.
I
I
heard the music. I
I
heard the
haven't heard
music.
any of. What do you think of it?
Man, the music is amazing.
Really?
The voice is amazing. The
Well, it's
voice is
got to
like,
be. It's made out of three different of the top artists ever, right?
yeah.
So
That's it. The music is amazing. The voice is amazing. And I wonder how this generation adapts and receive music by a non-human who.
considering this is such a real environment, and that's going to be difficult to because they can't. Can they go see them in concert? Not at this
So,
point.
no, this is what I was thinking. Let me tell you what I was thinking about the concert part. Suppose the concert is, p- 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 suppose the artist is performed as a hologram.
Like Tupac did that time. Yeah.
Suppose they use a hologram concept to take the artist on tour.
They've been leading up to this anyway. Back when Drake did the voiceover of Tupac, and years ago when Tupac went on tour with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, and they put their hologram out there. So technology has gotten so much better since then that
And,
they probably could pull it off.
and inexpensive because Dr. Dre said it was very expensive to do the hologram. But
Mm-hmm.
today, with the advanced technology, I truly believe that it's almost 80% cheaper than when he did it, right?
Yeah.
And I truly believe that that maybe the young generation, the Generation Z and the generation behind Generation Z, would likely attend a concert with a hologram AI artist.
Man, that would take a lot of people out of the game, man. That's the biggest way that most artists make money is on tour. So
Mm-hmm,
that would
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
that would be, yeah, that would damage the industry. Um, but everything grows over time. So I would like to see how that would look.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
A real artist versus a AI artist. On concert, what would the numbers look like? Because
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
still
So
building relationships in this business. Like that's still the one thing that I don't feel like AI can do.
is
And
what?
I think that's build relationships. Like the relationship building part, even in music, like you feel so close to these artists, the Kendricks and the Drakes and even back, the Jay-Z's, the Tupacs, all these guys, you feel like you know them through their music. And so you can't really, it's artificial. You can't really get to know it. So I would love to
Yeah.
see how this going to turn out.
So here's the thing. So when we started using, we when social media platforms were created in Silicon Valley, they had this group of people that were more like psychologists, right? In behavior health, in behavior economics, or how do I want to put that? Yeah, behavior economics. They came together and they started to figure out what are the triggers, what are the chemicals that are released in the human brain.
Yeah.
How do we create scrolling? How do we create addiction? And they started to identify those chemicals in the human brain, and they started to lever those chemicals based on the addiction, based on the way they were sharing information online. And it created a sense of addiction for a lot of people, especially the youth who started being fixated on using social media and referring to social media for everything. It's almost
Hmm.
like the addiction you get from using ChatGPT today, right?
Right.
So I think they're going to create, I think these same group of people, uh, behavior economics, uh, no, behavior, I guess you want to call it economist,
Hmm.
and psychologist. They're going to get together. They're going to figure out how do we create a sense of addiction as it relates to AI artists.
They
What do we
probably
have to
already
do?
doing that study.
You know
If,
what I mean?
if
So
me and
I
you were talking about it, that means we're probably 6 months behind.
that's right.
But
That's right.
here's some things to look forward to. I think we need to start looking at the next 120 days
Okay.
when it comes to this TikTok algorithm. And
Okay.
people need to start testing their algorithm now. Right now, test their algorithm to see who's looking at them, you know, and then test it after the buy. Find out how your algorithm works now, and if that's profitable for you, keep it working that way. You just got to figure out how once the new algorithm come in, um, and keep an eye on disclosures that's going to be coming through on TikTok because they always have to give you a new disclosure when they do something different that you have to agree to even get on the app. So I would look forward to that as well.
What else? What other pointers do you have?
Um, Well, I would get people, just like you said, get people to comment underneath and just tell them why. Like, look, we're going to run a test. We're going to see how people want to know how they're going to get regulated, right? They want to
Mhm.
know who's looking at them now. Do a test, find out. And don't you guys on TikTok, don't you guys have that, the analytics on there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We have analytics. Yeah.
So yeah, if you don't look at that, start looking at that now and see how does that change in the next 60 to 120 days, and especially after the transition. That's going to be key. And then comment below this video. And if you have some ideas to help people, comment that below as well. And that way we can all work together not to lose any money through this TikTok regulation process.
Yeah. So so just to extend what you're saying, those who have TikTok accounts and they have 1,000 plus followers, yeah, look at your analytics and see where your reach is. Right, it shows you a map of your reach. Identify your reach and reach. Also, look at your followers and see where look for the demographics of your followers, um, and start to send out things. Test your algorithm currently to see how far your reach is, right? So create a video either explaining that, just talking about the new merger, the new deal that's about to take place, and you're going to keep your TikTok account. So still reach out to me, still watch my content, still do these things like that. Just kind of encourage your followers to continue to follow you as this transition takes place.
Yeah. Yeah. So look, you want to continue to make money, and business is always going to change. It's always adapting, and we're in a new video world where everything's either on video, it's on social media, and it's a lot of business owners, and I don't want anybody to lose any money. So get ahead of it. I constantly say that. Get ahead of everything. 3 years, 3 days, 3 months, 3 years. I'm always preaching 3 days, 3 months, 3 years. Figure out what it takes in 3 days, 3 months, and then 3 years. So now you're in the 3-day mark. You soon it's going to be 3 months, and then 3 years. Continue to make money throughout this. Any last words here today, Dr. Mario?
Just think, from a strategic lens. Just uh, capitalize on your metrics that you're achieving currently through the TikTok platform. Make sure your user profile is integrated with Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Right. Make sure all your accounts are integrated, so that people can find you if they type in your name, they can go to your name. If they don't see your content flowing through TikTok the way it used to do, based on the change in the new algorithm, you can follow them on YouTube, or you can follow them on Instagram. And a lot of the content that you may share on TikTok, if people start to say they don't see that content, maybe you need to start repurposing that content on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I agree.
Maybe repurpose it, because the Instagram algorithm do go through changes. All of them go through changes to control the spin, but this algorithm is going to go through a drastic change.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be catastrophic. So I want you to continue to make money. You heard it here first. Again, you heard it here first. We're here to help you, not hurt you. Thanks again for tuning in. Thanks, Mario. I really appreciate you giving us all this incredible knowledge to keep business running as usual. And where can they get all your information from?
Allthingsstrategic.org, allthingsstrategic.org, or info@allthingsstrategic.org.
There you go. You guys have a great day. We'll see you soon. We'll see you next week. And keep up with the times. That's what we're doing, keeping up with the times. Bye for now.